going back down to yesterday, the last things we talked about, we mentioned that with the manicure and pedicure services, luxury is a thing. So one of the things we use for these services are hot stones. We mentioned that there are natural and synthetic stones. For testing purposes, we know that the type of stone we use for pedicures or manicures are basalt, and we mentioned that natural stones are very porous, therefore cannot be disinfected, therefore we cannot use. If we do, like the one-time use only, those would get thrown out, right? And then, so we are going to use the synthetic rocks that are smooth and non-porous. One last thing we mentioned with these hot stones is that we want to make sure that we don't leave them on the skin like they're designed to on the back. That's out of our scope of practice. They are used to rub and massage as an addition with massage. Mind you, it's very hot, so please make sure you're wearing maybe a heat glove or some type of like corner of a towel. It does give you, you don't want to go hot, cold. Entonces aquí lo que son las piedras, página 196, lo que hablamos ayer día, que era lo que son las piedras calientes, conocidas como las piedras que se conocen como basalto, ¿verdad? Hay dos tipos de piedras de basalto. Dijimos que hay sintéticas y hay naturales. Las naturales no las usamos porque se ven muy porosas, como si fuera una roca de lava. Entonces no se puede limpiar ni desinfectar. Vamos a usar las sintéticas, que son hechas por hombre, y esas son no porosas. Quiere decir que las hacen bien como planas, que no tengan nada de hoyitos, para poder limpiar y desinfectar intermedio del cliente, siempre. We talked about MRSA yesterday, right? In capitals, all capitals, MRSA. We mentioned MRSA is an infection, normally stands for methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus. And we mentioned that when you become infected with this infection from this bacterium, we mentioned that it is very hard to get rid of because the bacterium basically replicates the antibiotics, therefore it becomes very hard to kill, right? So again, given the name, and therefore this is why we want to make sure that if we are doing water services on people, making sure we are safe and making sure that we remind them not to shave, pluck, wax 24 to 48 hours prior to the service, as well as insect bites, pimples, things of that sort, right? Any type of opening, we are running the risk of the clients picking up some type of infection with the remnants in the water. We mentioned that the remnants in tap water does have very minuscule microscopic, I mean, they're all microscopic, but they're very small amounts of this feces or this, pathogens, as it does get processed in the water treatment facility. But we have to remember, and this is why I tell you guys, the toilet facilities, right? Where do you guys think all that toilet water goes to? We think it goes to the ocean. In reality, some does. But in reality, what happens is that it goes to a company, to a factory where they basically add chemicals, they add all types of heat and disinfectant to that toilet water. They make sure they split all of the solids, right? The papers, the solids, all that. And then they basically sanitize all that water, disinfect it at really, really high-end machines, which is why we have these remnants in the water, right? So for somebody like me, somebody like you who doesn't have that lowered immunity, we should be okay. That's why I was telling you I have a wound here. I was kind of worried, right? But my immunity seems to be all right. I should be okay. Somebody like the paraplegic woman that we mentioned with lowered immunity, they're at huge risk. Diabetics are one of them, so anytime we have a lowered immunity client, be very careful and remind our clients 24 to 48 hours for testing purposes. On the exam, it is going to be, I believe, 24 hours. They're not going to give you 28 to 48. They're going to give you one answer, yes. 24. Okay?
They're not going to give you 24 as an answer and then 48 as an answer?
Possibly might. But put in 24, click 24. Okay. One day, at least one day. Ok, ayer hablamos otro punto también que se quedó en el video pasado, si no lo has visto, hablamos de sarna. Básicamente, página 197, dijimos, es bien importante que desinfecten todo, ¿verdad? Especialmente estas piedras. ¿Por qué? Porque hay algo que se conoce como sarna o sarma, que se le llama. Esto, básicamente, es Staphylococcus aureus resistente a meticilina, o sarna. ¿Qué significa eso? Es básicamente una enfermedad que les pega como tipo infección de esta bacteria, del cocos, ¿verdad? Hay diploscocos, hay muchos tipos de strains de cocos, ¿no? En este término, ¿qué pasa cuando a mí me pega una infección de staph o SAR? Se traspasa estas bacterias, básicamente traspasan lo que es el proceso de fisión binaria cuando se reproducen, ¿verdad? Entonces, estas bacterias se están reproduciendo, uno se enferma, entonces va al doctor y les dan como antibióticos para matar la bacteria. Pero ¿qué pasa con este tipo de bacteria? Que este tipo de bacteria es muy resistente a meticilina, lo que le da el nombre. Quiere decir que al momento de yo tomar medicinas, la medicina no me sirve mucho. Empieza a servir al primero, mata a las bacterias, pero de repente las bacterias son muy inteligentes donde empiezan a replicar esa medicina y se empiezan a contagiar otra vez. Entonces, por eso nunca queremos al fin del día, tener mucho cuidado con los clientes para no pegarles nada de esto, ya que estábamos hablando que la agua de la tina de los baños, bueno, cualquier agua de la llave puede tener remnantes de como feces, como popó, o puede tener bacteria poquito. Para nosotros es bacteria normal, pero para alguien con una inmunidad baja, ahí ya matamos al cliente o los enfermamos de algo o ya que tengan una abertura. Entonces, ¿qué nos dice aquí el libro? Dice, incluso dice, recordarle a los clientes no rasurar, depilar con cera, que no tengan picaduras de insectos o espinillas. Cualquier de esto puede causar una infección de pura agua. Por eso muchos están traspasando del agua a seco, porque corren este riesgo. ¿Ok? So, ese es el sarma. Tienen que saber qué es y todas las palabras, porque les van a preguntar, ¿qué es sarma? Staphylococcus aureus resistente a meticilina. Ok. Son 24 horas para el examen. ¿Cuánto tiempo para no rasurar? 24 horas antes de su cita. No se rasuren o nada. No les tengo que rechazar el servicio. O mejor no hago para el servicio. So again, reminding the clients, according to CDC, prevention of Center Control for Diseases, they recommend 24 hours prior to for service. And then it says dried or cracked heels, knees, rashes, abraded cuticles, peeling sunburns are all considered open lesions as well. So, keeping that in mind. Entonces, lo último que dice que los talones y las rodillas secas, resquebrajadas, los sarpullidos, las cutículas desgastadas, las quemaduras solares, descamadas también, todo eso se considera abierto. Lesiones abiertas que mejor no haga. All right, questions on any of those? All right, moving forward. ¿Preguntas en cualquier de esos? All right, we're going to go ahead and keep moving here. So we're going to talk about the difference between multi-use implements and single-use implements. We're going to move a little faster now. So starting with the toenail clippers. When we think of the toenail clippers will have, there's different types. We have the round and we have the straight. So what does that mean? That means when we are buying our nail clippers, depending on the usage will depend on how you want to buy them, right? I've noticed that the nail clippers that have the straight edge, those are a bit more sturdier as they are designed for toenails, right? They're more sturdier, a bit more ergonomic. So for me, I recommend just getting them all straight, honestly. Secondly, if I'm going to do acrylic set, I like to use my straight nail clippers to do my shaping. I'm not able to do it with my curve. And so that's how it goes. It's designed as far as the curve and the straight. But if you are going to use the straight clippers or nail clippers, ensure that you leave extra space as you're doing a round trimming, because you can accidentally cut in excess, right? So that's the only thing. Trim around, depending if they want a round or straight across, if they want more of a square. And then we file the rest to even that out. So we make sure that we are not cutting excessively. One of the things I like to remind you guys when it comes to nail trimming, well, two things. Number one, make sure you are asking the client if they even want it trimmed. Don't just assume. I always get it wrong. I always assume the client's going to want them nice and short and they want them nice and long. Or I'll assume they want them nice and long and they want them really short. So never assume. Male, female, all the ales nowadays. Ask. Make sure you ask. The second rule is, as far as your toenail clippers, make sure that you are checking hyponychium level. If they have extended hyponychium, you want to make sure that you are not trimming that skin. So what is hyponychium?
Is that also known as the quick, or no?
The what?
The quick. My mom would refer to the hyponychium as the quick.
Oh, I've never heard that
She's
term.
like, oh, like, don't cut them too short, be careful on my quick.
Maybe it's an old school term.
Maybe.
For sure, because I have never heard that. Interesting. ¿No cabe? Okay. Entonces yo pongo la mesita y ahí hay cámaras. Okay. Oh, mira. Sorry. Maybe here? Aquí? Ruth? Siga. Aquí no cabe? Sorry.
No, profe, que es muy pesado.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I found it. Okay.
What does this say?
It says the hyponychium